Video became phone cut off that video, like it sometimes does. So here's the part 2 of what I was talking about before. And like I said, end of every video saying is that I truly think that if somebody is, if a friend of you are getting into a bad relationship, you definitely tell it. You should tell that you think this is a bad idea and why you think it's. If somebody is abusive, controlling, jealous, insecure, aggressive, and all of those things, you should definitely say that this is a bad idea. Because you can, I mean, yeah, I don't think I need to really tell why, but naturally you should try as a friend to help that person to avoid a very, very bad life decision, but a life choice. But if the person going into a relationship, you should naturally support that person. You should support your friend and try to be a good friend. And I really tried that with this friend. When I knew he was getting engaged and so everything, I've been like, you know, congratulations, supporting, trying to be nice to the boyfriend and now husband. And my friend also told me like, oh, I wish you could be get along better with my husband. We could make, you know, our friendship better and so on. And I really, really, really tried to overcome some of the things this guy had done, because he'd been very treated me also awfully. But that is not really why I think it's a bad idea to get married, because it's all the other stuff. On the other hand, he has treated me this badly because he's controlling, jealous, aggressive, all of these things. But anyway, and dishonest, lying about a lot of things, both to me and to his husband, to my friend. And I really, really tried to be supportive and open up for a possibility to have, you know, be some, maybe not friend, but at least have some, you know, decent contact with his husband and so on. But my husband done everything he can to make this not work, to be, you know, to make sure it absolutely won't work. And again, that naturally my friend is accusing me for that. Also, conflicts between my friend and my husband has been my fault, because I've told about the things my husband had done and so on. And I think that is also very typical behavior when you are in this kind of relationship, but deny, and put, you know, the husband on a pedestal and say, oh, he's so good, he's so absolutely wonderful. Well, you know what, this is not the truth. Because if you admit that this is the biggest mistake of your life, it's like admitting that you have done something bad, but you can't handle the situation, and that is very hard for a lot of people. My friend also has this background of having a really rough childhood and coming from abusive background in that ways, and I think that is so stereotyped and almost cliche that people who have that kind of background often end up in this kind of marriage or relationship. And I mean, you want to think it's a stereotype that isn't, you know, really, that has to do so much to do with reality, but sadly it is a reality. It is a stereotype which are based on reality, and that this is actually happening a lot. Sadly enough, it's more likely that a person with my friend's background end up in a relationship like this than they don't. And therefore I think it's even more important that if you are a friend, that you tell that this is a bad idea, this is not going to end well, you know, we should don't do this. Even if it is, in my case, ends up with you not being friends anymore. But like whatever other friends and everybody who knows me, I'll be here. I'll be here and support my friend. If a friend wants it in a relationship, I support. If a relationship ends, I try to do my best to help, because I want to be a friend. But I would be a horrible friend if I didn't say anything, if I didn't speak up. And sadly, there are a lot of people who don't feel that like they want to interfere, or that should mind their own business and not put their nose into things and so on. But in this case, when you have a friend who are getting into a bad relationship, you should speak up. Always. That's my I'm convinced that that is the only right thing to do. Always. To always be honest about this. And in the end, it could save somebody a lot of suffering. Yeah, as I said in the beginning, I think that is existential. I think it's extremely important. And I also know people, a lot of people who wish somebody had said something. But I think when you are in this, in the beginning of this kind of relationship, and especially if you have this kind of background, you often want things to work out. You have this idea and a picture of, the utopia of how a marriage or relationship should be, and you do everything you think you can to reach that goal, and you think that only if you work with relationship, everything gonna be absolutely perfect. And I'm a firm believer that things will get good if you really do put a lot of effort to it. If you really want something to work, it will work out. But not if you are with a person who are all those things, as aggressive, jealous, insecure, controlling, and so on. It's doomed from the beginning. It has to be two people who doesn't have this kind of background if it should work out. And yeah, but it smells like that. I'm actually glad that I'm single and that I'm not married. It sounds bad, but I know there are a lot of really nice people out there, and I certainly haven't met one, simply. But I'd rather be on my own than in being in that kind of relationship. And I try to be a good friend, and I will always try to be a good friend to my friends and always be there. And I don't think it's coincident that even though I am a friend who speaks up when things are bad and get a lot of negative feedback in the moment from that, I'm also a friend that most of my friends have been in bad relationships and where I've spoken up, but it's me they call when they get out of it, simply because we know that I will support them no matter what. And I think that is what friendships are all about, and love overall is all about. To speak your mind, be honest, and